I remember standing in the frozen aisle of the grocery store, my hands trembling as I counted every last crumpled dollar bill from my pocket. I had just finished my night shift at the diner, greasy uniform still sticking to my skin, and I knew I had to be at the warehouse in less than 6 hours. 2 jobs, no sleep, but I told myself it was worth it, because tonight I would finally bring home food. Real food, not ramen packets, not stale crackers from the discount bin. Chicken, rice, vegetables, enough to last us through the week. Enough so I wouldn't have to starve myself again just to make sure there was something left. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video. I carried the bags home like they were treasure. My arms ached, but my heart felt lighter. I could already picture it, me cooking a hot meal in our tiny kitchen, my stomach growling but my chest swelling with pride. For once, I would eat like a person. For once, I would feel human. When I walked through the front door, the first thing I heard was laughter. My sister Rachel was sprawled out on the couch, phone in hand, recording videos for TikTok. Her cat, a fluffy white Persian with jeweled collars, sat on the coffee table licking its paws. My parents were both watching, grinning like fools, as if she'd just won an Oscar. "Where have you been?" my mom sneered without even looking up. "Work," I said simply, setting the heavy bags on the counter. Rachel wrinkled her nose. You smell like grease. Don't get too close, you'll make the cat sick." I ignored her. I pulled out the food one by one, lined it up on the counter. Chicken thighs, rice, beans, milk, eggs. I felt proud, like maybe they'd see how hard I worked, how much I sacrificed. I bought groceries, enough for the week. For the first time, my dad looked up from his beer, his lip curled. "Groceries? For you?" He chuckled darkly, shaking his head. "Don't waste it. You don't deserve that." Before I could answer, Rachel jumped off the couch and snatched the chicken pack out of the bag. "Perfect! I needed this for Whisker's new recipe video," she squealed with delight, holding it up like a prize. "He's going viral, you know. People love watching him eat gourmet food." I blinked. "What are you doing?" "That's dinner. I worked 2 jobs to—" My mom cut me off, snatching the milk. "At least the cat makes us look good. You're just a reminder we failed. Why waste food on you when he doesn't embarrass the family?" It felt like the air was sucked out of the room. I stared at them, heart hammering, as Rachel dumped the rice into a shiny bowl and set it on the floor for her cat. Whisker sniffed it, then pawed at the chicken package while my parents laughed like it was the funniest thing in the world. "That's my food," I whispered, my voice cracking. Rachel smirked, crouching down beside her cat. "No, loser, it's his food. You're just background noise." The cat dug in, shredding the chicken with tiny teeth while my stomach growled so loud it hurt. My hands trembled. I could still feel the blisters from scrubbing dishes at the diner, the ache in my back from hauling boxes in the warehouse, all for this. All for nothing. My dad raised his beer can like a toast. "At least Whiskers brings us joy. You never have." I turned away before they saw the tears in my eyes. My chest burned, not just from hunger, but from humiliation, from rage. Upstairs, in the quiet of my room, I sat in the dark listening to them laugh downstairs. I swore then and there that I would never beg them again. That night, as my stomach twisted in pain and Whiskers purred over a feast I had paid for, I realized something. If food was what they valued, if appearances, vanity, and that spoiled cat meant more than their own child, then I would make sure they lived to regret it. And I wasn't going to be silent about it. Not this time. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of laughter again. My stomach still ached from hunger, but when I went downstairs, I saw why. Rachel was in the kitchen, phone propped up on a tripod, recording her cat lapping up scrambled eggs and drinking the milk I'd bought. My parents hovered close, smiling like proud managers. "Smile for the camera, Whiskers," Rachel sang, sprinkling cheese on top of the eggs. "This breakfast costs more than my sibling is worth." She laughed at her own cruelty. My mom clapped like it was a comedy act. "She's right. At least the cat pays us back in views. What do you give us, huh? Embarrassment." My dad didn't even glance at me. He shoved the empty grocery bags into my arms. Go work more shifts. Maybe then Whiskers can have steak. I wanted to scream. My face burned, my chest tightened, but I stayed silent. I realized that no matter how much I worked, no matter how hard I tried, they would never see me as anything but disposable. To them, I was labor. To Rachel, I was a punching bag. To Whiskers, I wasn't even on the radar. That week, things escalated. I came home one night after a double shift, exhausted, only to find they'd thrown a party for the cat. A birthday party. Streamers, balloons, even a cake. On the cake was written, "Our Pride Whiskers." My parents stood proudly as Rachel filmed the whole thing, while I walked in with sore feet and an empty stomach. "Where's the food I bought?" I asked quietly. Rachel turned, smirking. "Oh, it's right there." She pointed to the cake. "Too bad it's not for you." My mom grabbed my arm when I tried to take a slice. "Don't touch it. You don't deserve to ruin his special day." Their words cut deeper than knives. I went back to my room, clutching my aching stomach, but I didn't cry this time. I thought. I planned. I knew now what they valued most: Rachel's fake online fame, Whiskers' precious image, and their reputation as the perfect family who raised a star. So I started moving in silence. I borrowed a coworker's phone one night and created an anonymous account. I began leaking little pieces of the truth. Videos of Rachel mocking people behind the camera. Clips of my mom sneering, "Our cat is worth more than our child." Recordings of my dad laughing. Why waste food on her? I'd collected these moments carefully, pretending to be invisible. Within weeks, the account blew up. People were furious. Comments poured in. What kind of parents feed their child's food to a cat? Rachel is a monster. Who treats their sibling like that? These people don't deserve to be online. Rachel's followers turned on her. Sponsorships she bragged about? Gone. The same brands that once begged her to promote their products suddenly cut ties. Her viral cat account became a battlefield of hate comments and unsubscribes. But it didn't stop there. One night, after a particularly long shift, I came home to screaming. Rachel was in tears, throwing her phone across the room. "They hate me. They're calling me abusive. They're saying I should lose Whiskers." My mom stormed toward me, red-faced. "What did you do? Did you ruin this for us?" I stared back at her, calm for once. I didn't have to do anything. People just saw the truth. For the first time, she had no comeback. My dad grabbed his beer and muttered curses, but his hands shook. Their precious pride was crumbling, not because I fought back with fists, but because I let the world hear the exact words they used against me. Rachel screamed upstairs, slamming her door, while Whiskers meowed, confused. My parents sat at the table, silent for once, and I realized this was only the beginning. The silence in that house didn't last. My parents couldn't stand silence. They thrived on noise, on Rachel's bragging, on the cat's fame. But now, every time Rachel posted, her comments filled with disgust. Every brand she tagged ignored her. The fan mail stopped. One night, I came home to find her screaming at my mom. "You were supposed to protect me. You were supposed to delete those videos, fix my image." Her mascara ran down her cheeks as she clawed at her phone. "Now I'm a joke. They're saying Whiskers is abused. They're saying I'm a fraud." My dad slammed his fist on the table. "This is your fault," he growled at me, eyes bloodshot. "You ruined our family. You've been jealous of Rachel since you were born." I stood there, calm, Daniel asleep on my shoulder. My voice didn't shake. "Jealous? I worked 2 jobs to put food on the table. You fed it to a cat and laughed in my face. Now everyone else knows who you are. That's not jealousy, that's justice." They didn't know what to say. My mom's face went pale, my dad's mouth hung open, Rachel covered her ears as if the truth burned. And then the final blow came. A local shelter contacted me after seeing the leaked clips. They wanted to investigate Rachel's pet care. She had built her entire reputation on pampering that cat, but the world had seen the reality: food ripped from a hungry sibling, cruel words, neglect. She lost custody of Whiskers within weeks. The cat that brought them joy was gone. I watched the day the officers carried Whiskers out in a carrier, Rachel sobbing on the floor. My mom begged, Please, this is our family pride. Don't take him. My dad swore at the officers, powerless. I just stood by the door, holding Daniel close. Now you know how it feels, I whispered. To have something you love ripped away because someone decided you weren't worth it. Rachel collapsed, wailing. My parents stood behind her, hollow, their pride gone, their faces gray. Without Whiskers, without Rachel's fake fame, they had nothing left to show off. The house, once filled with their laughter at my pain, was dead silent. I turned and walked out with my son, not looking back. For the first time, the night air felt light. I didn't need their approval, their scraps, their cruelty. They had destroyed themselves, one cruel word at a time. I had only let the world hear it. And from then on, when people in town spoke of our family, they didn't talk about Rachel or Whiskers or my parents' so-called pride. They talked about the girl they tried to starve, who worked 2 jobs, who finally made them choke on their own cruelty. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.